Good morning, everyone. It's Doc Green, the Road Scholar, out here getting trucking along, making good, good living, taking care of business. And a lot of you are following me on my debt-free challenge and everything, so that's going pretty well. For those of you that know about that, today we're getting a little bit close to political election day. We're within about a month of it now, 30 days, and I decided to do a little video because I see a lot of friends of mine are upset because I'm supporting a third-party candidate, and they say that's a waste. I'm not going to get into the politics of today. I'm going to explain to you why we need third-party candidates, why we need them on the debate stage, and why we need third parties out here. Now, I know a lot of people are going to sit here and say, well, third parties are kind of like spoilers because they take the votes away from the real two candidates. That's kind of the point. The reason I say is because let's say you have the Republican Party, the Democratic Party. And let's say you agree with 90% of what the Republican Party is saying this year. So you vote Republican. But next year you only agree with, or next election 4 years from now, you only agree with 80%. But hey, it's 80% versus, the other side. So you vote Republican again. The next year they're talking about a little bit more growth of military, and you happen to be against that or whatever. I don't know. Big business taxes, and you think, no, that's enough of that. So now it's 60, you agree with 60% against them or what they say, but you disagree with 40%. But it's the only party you can vote for. And the thing is, these big parties know that. They know that it doesn't matter what they do, they're your only go-to. You can only vote for them because they control everything. And now what has happened in the past is when you have populist movements, is once a populist movement started getting too much attention from the people, and the Democrats and the Republicans would see the populist votes going up, and it was starting the Whigs, the other groups, that were out there. When they start getting too much of the vote, then these groups had to back up. The Republicans, Democrats had to back up and go, whoa, 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 whoa. We lost like 10 or 15% of our base this last election. What happened? So they go back and they say, what are they talking about that we're not talking about? And they find out it's about, let's say giving money to farmers for seed because it was a drought season and they're having a rough time of it. But it's continuing to get worse because the taxes on agriculture products are higher. They see that farmers are having a lot of trouble. So they see that a populist group is starting taking away their agricultural vote. So what they would do is, like the Republican Party would switch its tactics next election. They would include that and say, okay, wait a minute, we did, because they don't realize they're out of touch up there in D.C. Face that fact already. They are out of touch with the reality. But when they see votes start going away, that's when they start realizing, oh, we got to focus on this problem, figure out how to get these votes back. That's basically what third parties are for. Now, a lot of people say, well, back when Bush was running and Perot was running, Perot, they say Clinton didn't actually win the election. Perot stole a lot of the votes from the Republican Party. No, what Perot did was enlighten the Republican Party to the problem. You're not paying attention to this section of the country, and you're losing these votes because you're not. So the Republicans had to come back after that and redevelop a better plan that would address the problems that the Perot team had won votes off of. But instead, that's not what they did. Instead, what they did is the Republicans went over to the Democrats and said, hey, look, about every 12 to 16 years or 20 years, we have the same problem. These little groups pop up and they start stealing our votes. Not just from our side, but from your side too. And Democrats are like, yeah, that's happened to them too in the past. So why don't we make a rule? And these two groups got together and they went up to the Presidential Debate Commission and they said, look, we want to make a rule to where if you're not polling at 15% of the numbers, you can't be on the stage. Because all they are is spoilers. And the commission went along with it because the presidential candidates were like, well, we're not going to debate if you don't go along with this. We'll go do something else. And so the commission went along with it. And it hurt America. And here's why. They basically told the commission, we don't want the other group to be heard. We only want to give the American people these two solutions. And we don't want to change our positions. So instead of us having to change our position to what the American people want, we're just not going to give the American people what they want. So you can't show a third party on the stage with us unless they hit this magic number, which they know is impossible for these new parties to hit. That's not debate, people. There's a lot of things, like some of you may be pro-choice and pro-guns. Well, if you vote for the Democrats, you're voting pro-choice, but then you're voting anti-guns, or, you know, against the Second Amendment. I'm not getting into specifics of politics. I'm just giving an example. Or if you're really, you know, if you vote Republican, yeah, I'm protecting my Second Amendment rights, but then I'm, you know, voting pro-life, or, you know, against abortions, and you may not want to. And the problem is there's no middle ground. There's no one offering you a third choice. Whether or not this third party wins or not is not the point. The point is they did not give you a choice of a party to vote for that will let them know, look, I'm agreeing with you on all of these, but I'm against you on this, a couple of things. And if they see this the third party going, okay, then what are they doing differently? Well, let's say the Republicans want to say, we want to pass a law where you have to cross the street twice to get across the street. Just making up something, people. I may not be for that. I may want you to cross the street once. So I got this third party, so I'm going to go vote for them. Then the Republicans look at the end of the election while they lost, they're thinking, well, we didn't realize how much of our base did not want that. And people go, well, now we lost out on everything, and you let the other party in charge because you were mad about a few things. If it's a few Americans that are mad about, that's one thing. If it's a lot of Americans start voting for the other party, then you need to start paying attention. Do you see what I'm saying? It's kind of, I wish I had a whiteboard. Third parties give the people a real voice. And no, you're not going to win an election with a third party. What you're going to do is you're going to inform the other two parties. You need to start listening to us. You know, you got the Green Party out here that's always been far, far left green, you know. And you can tell when people are starting to get disillusioned by what's happening in the ecology, because the Green Party starts getting a lot more votes. And the Democrats then will go back and go, okay, now we need to listen to this. You know, it's like Biden on the debate the other night said, I'm not, you know, he's not part of the new Green Deal. Well, there may be a lot in this party that want that. So if you're not going to support it, they're going to go jump over to the Green Party. That will let the Democrat Party know this is your base. This is what you need to pay attention to. You know, that's the purpose of having the third parties. It's not a waste of my vote. Yes, the other side might get in this election, and hopefully my side will listen. You know, whatever side I was on before, hopefully they learn from losing this election and start listening to people like us, the third party candidate, the third party supporters, and include them in their agendas. Because that's what used to happen in the past. When a third party would make such big noise and everything, and start getting huge numbers of votes, then the two major parties would go swallow up their ideas and pull their candidate and pull their people in. Now, they just ignore them because they know they can't get on the stage. They won't ever be heard. So anyway, that's the reason we need third parties. That's the reason we need third party candidates to be allowed on the debate stage. That's the reason we need to have third party candidates. That's the reason you need to vote third party. If you're in a state that you know, like Texas, we know it's going red. We know it's going Trump. There's never going to be a change in that. Well, not for many, many decades at least. Spend your vote this time getting a third party on the stage. You know what I'm saying? All they need is 5% of the popular vote, and they get to be on the debate stage. Spend your time getting them on that stage. Spend your votes that you know. If there's a lot of things that you're not happy about what Trump does in this time, and you know he's going to win your state and get those electoral votes with still beating Biden, vote for a third party. Get voices heard. Talk to you later.